Let's talk about the Roth TSP direct rollover. What is it and why you might consider doing it? When you turn 59 and a half, it's a monumental occasion. It's almost like a new birthday. Why? Because you have access to your retirement accounts. If you've contributed to a 401k or an IRA, you can access that account penalty-free. If you've contributed to a Roth account, you can access the gains penalty-free and tax-free. I've had a Roth IRA for a long time, and I've also contributed to a Roth TSP. What's a Roth TSP? It's the government's equivalent of a 401k. Now I want to move some of the funds, or all the funds, from my Roth TSP to my Roth IRA. First thing a lot of folks would ask, well, why are you making such a bad decision? One reason to make the decision to move from the Roth TSP to the Roth IRA are the investment options. Now, the Roth TSP has a lot of funds that you can invest in, and some of the funds mirror like the S&P, some mirror the Dow. They've got international fund, they've got lifestyle funds based on individuals' retirement date or prospective retirement date. But if you look at the return of the S&P for the past 5 years, probably somewhere close to 74%. But say you had invested those funds in something like stock, like individual stock, like Caterpillar, which you can do through a Roth IRA, or Google or Nvidia. What would the return be? So let's use Caterpillar as an example. 291% over the past 5 years. Caterpillar's in the Dow, it's in the S&P. No one would look at it as an unstable stock. No one would look at it as day trading. If you had put $10,000 into S&P 5 years ago, you'd have about $17,000 now. If you put $10,000 into Caterpillar, you'd have about $43,000 now. No one's saying you'd have to make an Nvidia type call where that went up over 1,000% over the past 5 years. But just an individual decision. If you put into American Express, you'd probably have a better return than you've gotten from the S&P. Not that the S&P has gotten a bad return, and I keep most of the funds that I have invested in an index fund that mirrors the S&P. But if you wanted to make an individual decision and see those gains also tax-free, you could make that individual decision. So another reason would be control and speed of access. If you want to get your funds, and I understand responsible people don't need to have it tomorrow, but if you don't want to wait days, if you just want to wait a day, if you're in Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, any of these accounts, it's a day to transfer the funds from your account to your bank account. If you're enrolled in TSP, it could take a reasonable period of time. If you're married, you also need spousal consent to do that. The only time you don't need spousal consent is when you're taking required minimum distributions, RMDs, when you're 73 years old. So you have to make sure you get along really well with your significant other, because if they say no, it's not moving. Let's talk about some of the reasons to leave it in the TSP with that Roth option. Maybe you like the funds that are available to you. You like the returns that you're receiving. It's simple. You're not married, or you are married, and it's no problem to getting the spousal consent. You don't need the funds that quickly. Also, maybe you're still working. If you are, then you have loan options that are available to you. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but when you pay it back, you're paying it right back into where you took it out from. But if you want to take advantage of that loan option, because that works for you. So that's a reason. Okay, so those are some of the reasons. That's what it is. And maybe I'll make another video if anybody watches this video on how to do it. So have a great day. And I should add, I am not giving you